I get some of my best inspiration when I'm out on the road running, logging some miles, or when I'm in my weight room and I've got a gym right behind this wall here that I'm pointing at. And this is my basement studio, but um, I get some of my best inspiration for new content, new things to teach, I guess we could say. And and that's when like the energy is moving through your body, and that's when creativity really thrives, is when energy is moving through your body. And oftentimes, and I'm going back to, the old Mike, from 0 to 43 years old. I think I spent more time during the first 43 years destroying my body than I did of revitalizing my body, or restoring my body, or energizing my body. And really, it was like life was about how much punishment could I cause myself. And now I like to run. I like to lift. I like to, eat well. I think over the last year, I haven't been as like on point with my nutrition and my exercise, but getting back in the zone and building that discipline again. And the creativity is starting to flow again, and it's really starting to get moving, and it feels good. I love being in my creative element. And I've got this podcast, whether you're listening to it on audio or you're watching it on video. I've got my blog that I write. I'm an author, so I have books that I've published. I've got my first book, The Imposter in Charge. I've got my second book, The Prosperity Principles, that they're both available on my website. And the Imposter in Charge is really it's available on Amazon as well. The Prosperity Principles is a digital download, a digital ebook available on my website. But I've got those mechanisms. I speak. I have my mastermind. I teach. It's like teaching, creativity, inspiration is always flowing, and I'm always looking for that next element of learning that I get to first of all bring to my awareness, and then second of all, and most importantly, is bring into the world, right? Because nothing is just for us. It's sharing the best of ourselves. But this morning I had I went for a 5-mile run, and it's the first, I've usually been logging around 4, but today I wanted to jam at 5, and it felt good. It's been a while since I run 5 miles, and it felt really good, and stretched myself a little bit. But the awareness that came up today, and I can always count when I'm running or when I'm lifting, I can always count on something, some kind of a breakthrough, some kind of a new awareness popping up. And it did today. It didn't let me down. And this one was big. So I've got episodes of this podcast where I talk about insecurity, inadequacy, and insignificance. These are the voices of survival mode. Okay. Insecurity, inadequacy, and insignificance. Insecurity is, I feel like everything's going to fall apart, and I'm just trying to keep things together. I'm trying not to lose what I have. Inadequacy is, I'm not enough, and I've got to prove myself, or I've got to become enough, or I've got to become more, right? Not that we don't need to grow, but it's the voice of I'm not enough. And when you feel like you're enough, you always grow from that place. But anyway, the point being is inadequacy is about feeling like you're not enough. Like The Imposter in Charge, my book, was really all about inadequacy, just not good enough. I'm not talented enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not powerful enough. I'm not impactful enough. I'm not enough. I gotta like always stretching for that next thing to feel like you're okay. The third is insignificance. And insignificance is really the voice that says, I don't even matter in this world. There's 8 billion people and I don't matter. I'm just a number. I'm just breathing everyone else's oxygen. I'm just taking up space. It's the voice of shame. Insignificance is the voice of shame. In fact, all three of these have an element of shame built into them. But that last one, insignificance, I don't matter, right? That's holy crap. And when you really listen to that voice, it will make you like do things that are really, really harmful to yourself. And like a lot of religion contains elements of shame and insignificance. Like you don't matter. You have to go through somebody else or something else to get to God. That's shame. You are insignificant, and there's only one way to get to God, and that because you don't matter. But anyway, I digress. So these are the three voices of survival mode. All right. Now, this morning when I was running and it felt really good and I was in the zone and I was putting some, some terrain under my feet, and I was in a great space, feeling good. I kept checking in with my body, and my mind wanted to quit, but my body had plenty left in the tank because mind wants to quit a lot, right? So after a mile, it's like, hey, we can quit. And after 4 miles, it's like, hey, we can quit. But I know I wanted to go 5 miles, and the mind is always ready to quit before the body is. But I had a lot left in the tank, and I kept going. And here's what popped up: self-esteem. Self-esteem, those voices of survival mode, and your path, your aligned path, and your aligned purpose, and the life that's perfect to you can be connected or disconnected or understood using these three elements. So let me explain. Self-esteem, if we really just get to the root of it, self-esteem is the ability, is your level of how good do you just feel about being you? How much do you believe in yourself? How much do you appreciate yourself? How much do you respect yourself? How much do you value and how much do you feel that you're worth in the world? Right? Like all of these are feelings inside of you, and you ultimately know if you feel like low self-esteem, high self-esteem, like excessive esteem, or if you're on your path, your natural, beautiful, aligned path. And here's how we do that. If you're living from a place of insecurity or inadequacy or insignificance, if you're living like these states for you are true, then you're not in your zone. You're not aligned with your natural path. Because when you get on your natural path, and when you are authentic, and when you are willing and able to express who you really are in the world, and when you're doing the work that is perfect for you, like your life's work, when you are carrying out your life plan that's perfect for you, your self-esteem increases. And for years, I had really, really low self-esteem. I felt so inadequate, so insignificant. And literally, it felt like I was just trying to keep my life together. And my marriage was toxic, and I hated my job. And it's like, I was physically, mentally, and emotionally abusive to my wife and my children. And this house was just a combat zone. And one of the primary reasons is because my self-esteem was low, because I was so far beyond my natural, off of my natural path. What was best for me, what was perfect for me, what I wanted, who I really was. I was keeping secrets. I was telling lies. I was being fake every single day. And my self-esteem told me that was true. And I didn't know that that's what it meant. And as I stepped onto my natural path, after I got fired twice in 20 months, and I tried to get back into a corporate setting, and corporate wouldn't have me because my resume was Swiss cheese, and I was like, I was just a damaged corporate product at that point. Like nobody would have me. And I decided, I guess maybe it was even decided for me, to start this business. And it was called something different at the time. Right now, my business is called Inner Wealth Global. But it was called something different. But the point is I was finding my natural path. And as I stepped onto my natural path, my feelings of internal security started increasing. My feelings of natural value and adequacy. And it started to feel like I mattered in this world. And then something interesting happened. In my first full year in business, I exceeded any amount of money that I ever made in corporate in any of my even most successful corporate years. And I was I was so early in the business game, and I kept hearing that like starting a business is hard, and it came so easily for me. I became a raging asshole. And instead of going from low self-esteem to self-esteem, I went from low self-esteem to excessive esteem, where I thought I was better than other people, where I thought that I mattered more than other people, where I thought I had everything figured out. And I started judging the fuck out of people and thinking that like I was better than them. And this isn't a sign of healthy self-esteem. This is excessive, inflated esteem. When your security becomes too secure, when your adequacy becomes too adequate, when your significance becomes too significant, it's a sign of excessive self-esteem. It means you're actually inflating your value. It means you're actually like shrinking other people's value. And this is a sign that you're out of alignment as well. So low self-esteem, where you feel like you're less than, that's a sign of low self-esteem. When you feel that you're more than other people, more valuable, more worthy, more deserving, you're better than other people, that's a sign of inflated and excessive esteem. And both of these are signs, since you're not feeling good about yourself, feeling valuable and significant and adequate and secure, just like everybody else, without inflating yourself or deflating them or deflating you and inflating other people and putting people up on pedestals. Like when you reach a healthy state of self-esteem, you see all of us as equals, 8 billion people on the planet. And you just realize that you're adequate just like everybody else because you're on your natural path. Then you see that everybody has a natural path. And if only they could get on their natural path, we could all feel a healthy sense of self-esteem. But if you're not on your natural path, you're going to feel a low sense. And if you're on your natural path and you think that you're better than everybody else, you're just inflating your value. And these are both signs that something's not okay. Now, when I realized this, I started tracking back, and I started realizing that in my life, when I've gone all in on what I wanted, when I committed to a path, when I committed to a mission, when I committed to creating something in my life, and I didn't let like things distract me. I didn't let let's call them sensual pleasure, right? I didn't let food and alcohol and feeling like I didn't let things, I didn't let sensations, I didn't let tastes, I didn't let sights, I didn't let freaking sensual pleasure, but I didn't let these things distract me from what I wanted. When I exercised, when I ate well, when I took care of my body, when I went all in on myself and took care of my body, regardless of what anybody else wanted from me, and I just completely committed to my own well-being, physical well-being, and emotional well-being and mental well-being, and lived an authentic life, true to myself, without compromise, everything in my life increased. And my self-esteem went to a healthy level. And then anytime I let like the trappings of the world, whether it be eating too much, drinking too much, right? Doing things that were I guess self-sabotage in nature, too much of a good thing. Whenever I would go upside down in my life, my self-esteem would fall. And I would feel like I would wake up and I would feel like less than, or I would feel like my security was in jeopardy, or I would feel like I didn't matter as much as I did yesterday. And these are the mental and emotional games that self-esteem play with you, because they're showing you, your self-esteem is showing you where you're on your natural path and where you're not. When you make a choice, your self-esteem will show you if that decision helped you on your path or got you off your path. If you're not feeling enough, or if you're feeling too much in terms of inflated. Whenever I've been true to myself, whenever I've gone all in on doing what I know is best for my body, what I know doing what's best for my life, for my business, for my clients, what feels best in my life, from inspiration, from that voice inside of me that says we get to, from that awesome feeling that's fulfilling, not based on trying to become secure, adequate, or significant, or keep things together, or whenever I've gone all in on being true to myself, the way I know, the way I understand what being true to myself looks like, my self-esteem has normalized. Now, I'm not suggesting that you need to eat the way I eat, or not drink or exercise or not exercise, or whatever. All I'm saying is, when you are true to yourself, see what happens to your self-esteem. And you know what? I can't find what being true to you means for you. And you can't find what being true to myself means for me. But inside of us, buried deep inside of us, we each know what's best for us. We each know what our aligned path is. We each know what our purpose is. We can each find what is authentically awesome for ourselves. And no one else needs to understand. And whenever you choose to be more authentic and more aligned, and you choose to show up as yourself with no secrets, without trying to be secure and keep stuff together in your life and try to prove who you are and prove your value and your worth, prove that you're significant, become somebody in this world. Whenever you show up and just decide to go all in on being yourself, watch what happens to your self-esteem. You can also, if you become yourself and you feel like because you've become yourself, you're better than other people, you can also watch as your self-esteem becomes inflated, and you start to judge, and you start to criticize, and you start to think less of other people around you. But it's all there inside of you. It's all in how you feel about yourself. And every decision that you make either moves you onto or along the path of your alignment, your authentic alignment, or gets you off track and moves you back in alignment, or discourages you from your alignment, or harms you in your alignment, or it operates just as a big distraction from your alignment. Watch what happens with your self-esteem as you become true to yourself. And you'll see that your entire life, your journey, is about becoming more and more true to yourself, not less. It's not about compromising yourself for other people's benefit. It's not about them compromising for your benefit. It's not about you saving them and them saving you. It's about you finding who you are and them finding who they are, and being yourselves and who you're meant to be. And when you do this, when you live and let live, watch what happens to your self-esteem. Watch what happens to how you feel about yourself and how you perceive yourself. And if you ever reject anything about yourself, that's a sense of self-esteem, and it's something's trying to get your attention to get you back on track. I one time had a client and I asked him a simple question. Hey, are you willing to accept and embrace everything about yourself? And he just answered this way, fuck no. It's like, well, I want to get you to a place where you say yes. I want to get you to a place where you know you're so far into alignment with who you're really meant to be that you say fuck yes to yourself, and that you love yourself and you respect yourself and you appreciate yourself, and you know that you make a difference in this world, not because of what you do, just because you exist. And this is a healthy sense of self-esteem. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something. I hope you harvested something awesome out of it. If you're struggling in not feeling like you're valuable in this world, or if you're struggling because you feel you're excessively valuable more than other people, or you're excessively important in this world above and beyond other people, or if you feel like you're not important and you put up other people on pedestals, if you're in either one of those polarities, I'd love a chance to help you figure out what your natural alignment is. No one can show you what your alignment is, but there are certainly people gifted to help you get into your natural alignment. And I know that I'm one of them. That doesn't make me better than anybody else. It just means that I'm aligned with my purpose, because I've seen that I do that at an exceptionally high level, and people get tremendous results by the work that we do together. But I can't do it for you. All I can do is guide you deep into yourself to find out what is true for you.